Don't say anything. Don't say anything about anybody. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. We're excited to be here and celebrate with our students as they complete this milestone. So at this time, I'd like to have you recognize the graduates from the Department of Industrial and System Engineering and also the Operations Research Program. You may be seated. I am Dr. Canton Reynolds, Director of Undergraduate Programs in the Edward P. Fitts Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering, and I'll be serving as Master of Ceremonies for today's commencement. I'm honored to be a part of such a special moment for these students, and this is also a special day for me and the rest of the faculty and staff as we watch our fall graduates cross the stage and begin the next phase of their lives. It is exciting and rewarding to see each of them fulfill their dreams. When we started out together this semester in senior design, I told our students that if all we have done at the end of the semester is to help them synthesize everything that they've learned in the department to this point, then we have failed them. Hopefully we have provided a learning environment where they have grown as students and scholars and now move on as graduates and professionals. We are live streaming this today from upstairs, and you'll be able to review it later. We're fortunate enough to be here at the Brooks Avenue Church of Christ, and we hope that you agree that this is a beautiful place that makes the day even more special. The department staff, the ISE ambassadors, and volunteers hope that this ceremony is memorable, so please ensure that we give each graduate their time to be honored. Also, we'd like for you to consider those who use the church after us, so please keep track of your belongings, and if you have any trash, deposit in the waste cans. So a little bit about how today's program will play out. Dr. Julie Swan, our department head, will have some opening remarks. She will introduce the faculty and staff of the department, and our guest speaker, who will be one of our own faculty members, Dr. Maria Mayorga, the 2019 C.A. Anderson Outstanding Faculty Award winner. Then it will be on to the recognition of our newest graduates at both the graduate and undergraduate levels. Our students have asked that we keep it brief so they can spend more time with their families, so we will limit our recognition to students who were not otherwise saluted for their achievements at some point during the year. Some of the notable endeavors will be visible above me in the projection system. You are welcome to come down the aisle and take as many pictures as you like. There will also be opportunities for pictures afterwards. We will pace it for you and your family, so please take your time and just make sure that our department photographer, Mr. Lassen in the back, has the chance and space to operate. At the conclusion of the ceremony, we will adjourn to the fellowship hall, which you can find by taking 2 left-hand turns outside of the sanctuary, where we will have cake and refreshments for everyone. We will also have a space for you to take pictures in front of the department banner or with specific faculty members who are present. We will conclude the reception promptly at 4:45. And so without further ado, I'd like to welcome the A. Doug Allison Distinguished Professor and ISE Department Head, Dr. Julie Swan.
Thank you. On behalf of the Edward P. Fitts Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering at NC State University, I welcome each of you to our Fall 2019 departmental graduation. This is a wonderful day where all of our graduates and their families are justifiably proud. The faculty and staff of ISE share in your pride. It is a season of thanks, a season of giving, a season of hope and joy. I am sure our graduates are both thankful and joyous today. Now, how many in the room know what industrial and systems engineering is? Okay, it took my graduates a little bit too long to wave their hands, but we'll give them a little bit today. I just want to make sure that everyone does. Otherwise, we have a lot of return logistics that I don't want to deal with. Industrial and systems engineering, developing or applying science, mathematics, and engineering methods to complex system design, integration, and operations. We deal with systems of humans, money, knowledge, information, manufacturing, equipment, energy, materials, products, or health. We are one of the oldest and largest academic departments of industrial and systems engineering in the United States, celebrating over 80 years of excellence with the first 2 bachelor's degrees in industrial engineering awarded in 1933. The program has been continuously accredited since the beginning of such certifications in 1948. Contrary to the students' belief, the faculty were not there then, not these faculty. Our graduate program was also established in 1948, and our doctoral program was established in 1967, with the first doctoral degree awarded in 1969 under the supervision of Professor Salah El-Maghrabi. This brings me to the introduction of our faculty and staff. I'm going to ask you to hold your applause until all of them have been introduced. I'll introduce the ones that are here with us today and ask them to stand if they would like. Dick Bernhard, Karen Chen, Xiaolei Fang, Ola Harrison, Julie Ivy, Mike Kay, Russell King, Maria Mayorga, Rohan Shearwaker, Reha Uzoy, and Kenton Reynolds, of course. You've met him already. And today with us, we also have a faculty member from Operations Research who is based in the Civil and Environmental Engineering, Construction, Civil and Environmental Engineering, Joe DeCorrales. Let me also introduce the ISE staff. And before I do that, I would like to remind everyone that it's really the ISE staff who put together this wonderful event and help make everything possible, including the education of our graduates, along with the cutting-edge research of our faculty. So with that said, let me introduce our staff. Debbie Allgood-Staton. Many of them are around, still working, actually. Wendy Coleman-Blue. Justin Lancaster. Rob Lassen. Dan Leonard. Jasmine Petway. Christina Pucci. Linda Smith from Operations Research. Danita Taylor. Bailey Ohm, Natalia Vinchosevich, Mike Walsh, Karen Welton, and Chet Wyrick. Please join me in thanking our faculty and staff. We also have affiliated groups, the Ergonomics Center at NC State, directed by Tim McLaughlin, and the Center for Additive Manufacturing and Logistics. I don't think that there were people here that I didn't name already, but we thank them and the Operations Research Program for their participation. Next, I would like to mention some noteworthy events of the past year, as well as some of the major professional achievements of our faculty and students. Let me tell you a little bit about ISE. Undergraduate enrollment has more than doubled in the last 10 years. We now have over 300 undergraduate students. And the university would like us to grow 25% more. What do you think? Can we fit us all in? Likewise, the graduate program has grown at almost 4 times the national average in ISE. We now have more than 200 graduate students, including those we supervise in the Operations Research Program and the Integrated Manufacturing Systems programs. Our research expenditures have also grown over 70% during this time. Our faculty and students are on the cutting edge of their research areas, including in manufacturing, production, logistics, and operations research, as well as leading IE programs into many new areas: healthcare, 3D printing, nanotechnology, virtual reality environments, among many others. Recently, we have also added faculty working in data science, an increasingly important area for all industries. Our faculty are national and international leaders in many exciting areas, the thought leaders that will help create economic development in the city, the state, and beyond. Our laboratories are among the finest in the nation and have continually been enhanced. And due to the passages of the state of North Carolina's bond referendum and assistance from alumni, ISE will move into a new building on Centennial Campus in summer of 2020. We are tremendously excited about the building formerly known as EB Oval, and it is now proudly called Fitz Woolard Hall in honor of ISE alumni Ed Fitz and ISE alumni Ed Woolard, and their extraordinary contributions. Let me tell you a little bit more about our undergraduate students. We have a diverse set of students graduating today, including a cheerleader, a Frisbee player, officers in our student organizations, including Consult Your Community, IISE, or Alpha Phi Mu, undergraduate research assistants, ISE ambassadors, participants in study abroad, student tutors, and more. They are going into all different fields: manufacturing, supply chain, healthcare, data science, and more. Recently, a group of ISE students participated in national and international competitions for Grand Challenge, placing second in the entire world in September, along with 2 from the CCEE department. Our seniors put a world of cool engineering projects on display at Engineering Design Day this semester. With us today are the first place winners, Team Carolina Country Snacks, Team Patch, and fan favorite Team ABB. Graduate students have also been recognized this year. PhD student Carl Schuchard, who is here today receiving his master's degree, won the 2019 Best Manufacturing and Design Student Paper Award from IISE. Carl also received the Best Poster Award from the Society for Biomaterials. I feel like I tell you about Carl at every graduation. PhD student Hafiz Islam won first place for the entire university in the 5th annual 3-minute thesis competition. He beat out 9 other finalists, including another one from ISE, Parth Chansoria, sorry Parth, and will compete next in the Southeast Regional Competition in March. Our staff are second to none. This year, Harvey West received the College of Engineering Award for Excellence for his work with CAMEL. Our faculty and affiliates, I'm proud to announce that Professor Yunan Liu and his wife welcomed a baby boy, Ethan, recently, who's happy and healthy. Professor C.S. Nam received the Leland Cole-Morgan Spirit of Innovation Award from the Human Factors and Ergonomics Society for his substantial and innovative contributions to the field of augmented cognition. The Office of Global Engagement inducted distinguished Professor Shucheng Fong into their Academy of Excellence in Global Engagement. He will help ensure NC State's ongoing legacy of global leadership in the future. Assistant Professor Sarah Shashani is leading a diverse team who's moved to the next phase of the Data Innovation Challenge from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Associate Professor Rohan Shearwaker received the 2019-2020 George H. Blessis Advising Award from the College of Engineering recently, that he will receive in the spring for his impact on student advising, counseling, and mentoring. Professor Benil Starley was recently named the James T. Ryan Professor in Manufacturing, and Professor Maria Mayorga was named to NC State's class of University Faculty Scholars due to her significant academic achievements and contributions through teaching, research, and community engagement. And thanks to everyone's participation, the ISE department led the college in several different metrics on the first annual day of giving. Students, you can mark your calendars for March 25th, 2020. We're going to throw a big party, so make sure to come back. As you can see, we have an outstanding group of students, staff, and faculty. But I want to tell you that this would not be possible without your support. You, the students, have contributed across the board in these initiatives. You, the parents and family and friends, have supported your loved ones. You might have done their laundry or given them dinner. You likely paid their tuition and fees, which helps enable their education as well as all of the other resources needed. You, our donors and sponsors, have also helped us lay the foundation for the engineering leaders of tomorrow through senior design, contributions to enhancement, or donations for the new building. In truth, we cannot do it without any of you. I've told you a little bit about the past and status quo at NC State, but let me also remark on the future. The department is developing initiatives in data science to meet the growing demand from industry. Students, you're not going to be left out, as there will be professional education opportunities that you can come back for, including online. We are establishing a master's degree in engineering management for someone who wants to pair excellent technical knowledge with savvy business instincts. We are increasing student participation in study abroad, which can open new horizons in a participant's life. And we are engaging with alumni, including a mentoring program between alums and students. So students, while there may be some of you who would like to forget about us for a while, don't let it be long, because we want to continue to have you involved as an alumnus, where you will interact with other alumni of ISE and NC State, provide a lifting hand to the students behind you, or give back in other ways. Ultimately, this helps our reputation and our system, and in turn, the value of your degree. And in time, you will see that we are not just an institution or a department, but we truly are a pack, greater than we would be on our own, greater for your involvement and engagement with us. And finally, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our graduation speaker. This year's speaker is the winner of the C.A. Anderson Faculty Award that is voted upon by students. Dr. Maria Mayorga is originally from Nicaragua, but spent much of her life in Washington, D.C. She obtained her PhD from University of California in Berkeley. She joined NC State in August 2013 as a Chancellor's Faculty Excellence Program cluster hire in personalized medicine. She is now a professor in the ISE department, and in 2019 she was named a University Faculty Scholar. Her research goal is to address fundamental questions in health systems, especially while considering individual patient preferences with a diverse patient population. She is also interested in optimally allocating resources for emergency medical systems and disasters. Her research is inherently interdisciplinary and is thus facilitated by collaborations with health services researchers such as epidemiologists, economists, and medical doctors. Her research has been supported by NIH and NSF, among others, and she received the Distinguished National Science Foundation Career Award for her work to incorporate patient choice into predictive models of health outcomes. In the last 2 years, Maria has led initiatives to increase the number of students from a diverse population interested in graduate school. This year, our entering PhD class is over 50% female, and I'm sure that is in part because of her work. She is an acclaimed teacher for classes such as optimization, logistics, healthcare, and humanitarian logistics for students at all levels. She's currently planning to teach in Spain next summer. Graduates, that's not right for you, but you can send your siblings or classmates with her. I'm sure they'll learn a lot from the class and the experience. It is truly my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Maria Mayorga.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Good afternoon. First of all, welcome. Welcome parents, families, friends, colleagues, staff, and most of all, welcome to the graduates of Fall 2019. You're the reason we are here today. So graduates, these days you probably hear a lot of people wishing you success. I hope you have a successful career, they might say. However, I don't wish you success. Now, before you get up and walk out of your seats, let's see if this thing works. Just hear me out. I'm not here to wish you success. I'm here to wish you fulfillment. What's the difference? Why am I making such a distinction? Well, depending on which dictionary you consult, success is defined as the attainment of wealth, profit, popularity, one even says eminence. I see all of these as external measures of validation. It's what society says you should aim for. On the other hand, fulfillment comes from witnessing your own growth. It's a sense of meaning and purpose. So on this day, I wish you fulfillment, and I share with you some of my reflections about how you might try to get on your path to fulfillment. Before I continue, I'd like to acknowledge that as I have reflected, I have pulled heavily from several authors that have impacted me greatly that are shown on the screen. So from these, today I will share 4 concepts. The first is identity. The second is courage. The third is becoming. And the fourth is connection. First, identity. To be fulfilled, you need to know who you are. What are your core values? Sometimes we just follow along the path of least resistance, we go along with what is expected of us, and don't stop to ask, who am I? Who do I want to be? Oftentimes we focus on what do I want to do. You see, that's an outcome. James Clear describes life in layers. Outcomes are on the outside layer. These are the visible, tangible things like get a degree in ISE, check. The middle layer is the process. It's the system that allows you to get there. All the hard work that you put in, all the late nights, the studying, coming to office hours, it's important. But beneath that, at the inner core, is your identity. James Clear states that identities are not titles like industrial engineer. They are words that describe you to the world and are independent of time, place, and title. So for example, if you're a soldier, that probably means that you value discipline and teamwork. I am a mother. To me, that means I value nurturing and compassion. As IEs, I wager to say that you are logical, big picture thinkers. But what more? What describes you? Claudia Alvarado. I think for you that means you value continuous learning because you enjoyed research and you're applying for graduate school. Matthew Parker, during your REU, I learned that you are curious and value exploration and inquiry. Whatever it is, before you take your next step, I urge you to take a moment and stop to think about who you are, what you value, and what's in your core. Next, courage. So beyond identity, you need a process in your life that will allow you to get from identity to fulfillment. The first thing you need is courage. I'm not talking about heroics or the lack of fear, pretending you're not scared at that scary movie, or grand posturing. Brene Brown writes, the root of the word courage is cor, the Latin word for heart. In one of its earliest forms, the word courage meant to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart. In other words, the courage I'm talking about is the willingness to be vulnerable, the willingness to put yourself out there. Apply for that job you may not get. Take the job that pays less because it's what you love to do. Pitch that idea at work, even if it may fail. The best example I have of courage came from my parents. In the late 80s, Nicaragua was in the midst of a civil war. My parents were quite comfortable there. Mom was an architect, Dad was a salesman. But in December of 1986, my parents moved my family to Washington, D.C. with just what we could fit in our suitcases, seeking political asylum. I had never seen snow, and there was a snowstorm in D.C. For a few months, we all slept in one bed in the attic of some distant relative, and my parents, once professionals because they could not speak English, found jobs as a janitor and a babysitter. But you know what? I was never scared. They treated it like it was an adventure. They never complained about the 3 jobs they were holding down or not being able to see their friends and family for years. We were together, we were safe, and most of all, we had opportunity. When I got older and I asked my parents, why did you leave? And why did you go to DC and not Miami where everybody speaks Spanish? Or why didn't you go to Costa Rica where you could have kept your professional jobs? They would have been more comfortable there. The answer was for you, for me and my brother and my sister, to give us a chance to fulfill our own potential. That is why I stand here before you today, because they had courage. Next, becoming. So one thing that takes a lot of courage, but is necessary to fulfill your identity, is to own who you are. What I mean is, do you, boo. There will be many times where you doubt yourself. And the funny thing is that sometimes these moments come when we achieve great things. You get an A in the class and you think, oh, the professor was just nice. Trust me, I don't give you an A because I'm nice. Belonging or becoming is about embracing your accomplishments. It's about owning what you earned and showing up to where you need to be. I'll give you an example. I did my undergraduate in mechanical engineering, actually. Good thing I saw the light. At the George Washington University. It's a pretty campus in DC. Well, I was one of 3 female students in the whole mechanical engineering class. It really never bothered me because my dad told me I could do anything I wanted to, and I believed him. But I had some, shall we say, haters. So one day in class, we were talking about a manufacturing process. And the example was orange juice for some reason. And the professor asked a question about a specific step in juice making, and nobody responded. Then he looked at me and said, "Come on, you know, tell them." Perplexed, I said, "No, I don't know. Why would I know?" And he said something like, "Oh, come on, you're a girl, you know how to make juice," implying that I should know my way around a kitchen. So at that point, the air got sucked out of the room. All the male students in the class were like, and their eyes were bulging out because I had never been one to be pushed around, so they were like wondering, what is she gonna do? But I just took a deep breath and I said, "No, sir, I've never made juice from scratch." But instead, I showed him, and I showed any doubter that I belonged by working hard. I graduated first in that mechanical engineering class. So embrace who you are. As Michelle Obama writes, if you don't get out there and define yourself, you'll be quickly and inaccurately defined by others. And the last thing I want to talk about is connection. Connection is what we're hardwired for. Human beings are not meant to be alone. I'm not talking about how many likes or retweets you get. That's not really connection. I'm talking about valuing others, showing your true colors so that others can connect with you, and giving back. I don't think you can find fulfillment without connecting to others on a deep level. And as important is that if you do find fulfillment, you find a way to give back. As was pointed out during the alumni breakfast, NC State mascot is not the lone wolf, it is the wolf pack. In your years here, I am sure that you have developed some wonderful friendships. Don't lose these. Make an effort to stay in touch. That's what I love most about my job. I get to meet and know many of you and see you becoming who you are. It is the greatest reward in the world. I enjoy getting to know you students. I've had a chance to watch you lose family members. I've had a chance to watch students get married, have babies, change careers. Had a former undergraduate student from a previous institution reached out to me when she was applying to master's program, and she did a master's of public health at UNC. We'll forgive her. And one of my REUs from NC State, he went to get his PhD at Purdue, and I see him at conferences, and I just love keeping track of him and his progress. Last month, I ran into several of my PhD students at a conference, and my heart was full, as you can tell in that picture. So stay connected. Say thank you to your family. Talk to the person who cleans your office. Make a difference in someone's life, even if you don't know them. So that's it. This is where I am right now on my journey to fulfillment, and I hope that what I've shared will help you get there too. The beautiful thing about fulfillment is that the journey doesn't end, because you are always growing and always changing. But I believe that if you know your identity, have courage, believe in what you will become, and share your connection with others, then you can find fulfillment along the way. I'd like to end with the wise words of Dr. Seuss with a few minor tweaks. So, be your name Julia, or Jasmine, or Yash, or Rebecca Widmeyer, or Varun Prakash. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Thank you.
Okay, next we'll start with the introduction of our students. The first set of students that'll be coming up to the podium here are our PhD students in industrial engineering. So I guess, Brad? And for the PhD students, we'll be doing a hooding ceremony. Our first graduate is Bradley Ashbaugh. Brad? Our next graduate is Ankit Bansal. Our next graduate, Ashraf El-Jali. Our next graduate, Lokesh Narayanan. Our next set of students will be receiving the degree of Master of Science in Industrial Engineering. First graduate is Parth Chansoria. Our next graduate, Mujib Lawal. Our next set of students will be receiving the degree of Master of Industrial Engineering. First graduate, Pranab Deepak. Our next graduate, Sherry Eberhardt. All right. Our next graduate is Marco Antonio Espinoza Jara. Yep. Our next graduate is Sharabahi Lale. Our next graduate is Mohammed Mithawala. Our next graduate, Kirki Kumar Pratsala. Our next graduate is Meet Rachada. Next, we have Carl Shukar. Next, we have Michaela Slomsky. Our next graduate, Varun Deepak Band. Okay, our next set of graduates are getting the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Operations Research. At NC State, the Operations Research is a separate graduate program from industrial engineering, and we're glad that we're able to have both ceremonies together. But it's more than just industrial engineering. They actually worked with advisors in a multitude of different departments. Our first PhD graduate is Azada Banamazad. Our next PhD recipient in operations research is Kyle Hovey. Our next graduate is Neha Patankar. Our next students will be receiving the degree of Master of Operations Research. Pedro Chagas Anchitia.
At this time, we will recognize our Bachelor of Science graduates. Claudia Espino Alvarado. Alexander Balabanov. Kevin Church. Jasmine Cooper. Ashton Daniel. Pedro Fernandez. Jacob Green. Rebecca Griffin. Julia Hanson. Zach Hoxcomb. The next student is also recognized as a university scholar, Tu Lee. Stephen Lepore. Yash Mathradas. Ethan Miller. Matthew Naga. David Newkirk. Nicole Niemer. Matthew Parker. John Andrew Shell. Congratulations. Alberto Sucre. Connor Walker. The next student is also recognized as a university scholar, Samantha Winterroad. And last but certainly not least, Samuel Young. Okay, before we recognize our graduates one last time, I think the graduates would love to recognize their families, friends, and others who've supported them while on this journey at North Carolina State University. So please join me, graduates, in thanking your family and friends. So what we'd like to do now is have the graduates rise. And for those of you that have not already done so, you may now move your tassels. Congratulations. So, in closing, thank you, class of 2019. We hope you have enjoyed your time with us. So please go have some refreshments in the auditorium and in the fellowship hall where you are invited to take pictures. We'd like for you to stick around and introduce us to your family and friends. And safe travels to all of you as you return home during this holiday season. And we wish you the best as you move forward. Please do not hesitate to reach out and keep in contact with us as your careers grow and you conquer new challenges. And with that, we have concluded today's program. Thank you.